one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item B, reporting the roll.
All present except for Mayor Burchell, who has an excused absence.
Item C, approval of the consent agenda. Are there any changes we need to be aware of?
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda. Second.
Motion by Commissioner Towers, second by Commissioner Semo to approve the consent agenda as presented. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Mildred,
Yes.
Semo,
Yes.
Tower,
Yes.
Corcoran.
Yes. Item D, approval of the agenda. Are there any changes we need to be aware of?
No changes. Make a motion to approve the agenda. Support.
Motion by Commissioner Towers, second by Commissioner Mildred to approve the agenda as presented. Any additional discussion, concerns? All those in favor, aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item E, revenue, review and place on file 1, revenue and expenditure report, and 2, cash summary report.
Thank you. See if this works today. Okay, can you get me to the report?
Hey, Paul, is that mic on? I don't see the mic on.
You have it pushed back
There's a little button on the side.
on the top.
There you go. Thanks. All right, thank you. So tonight I'm reporting on the month ending March 31st, 2017. We should be roughly 75% through our expenditure budget, and the majority of our funds. And so we'll just go through them chronologically. In the general fund, period fund balance is positive, which is a turnaround we've seen in the past. And again, we've been running a negative throughout the fiscal year because of the funds allocated for the local street paving project. I think that was done right at the beginning of our fiscal year, so our revenues are catching up to that. And also with timing of expenses, we're just seeing a positive year. But we're on track with most of our expenditures. Again, we haven't really done our budget amendments, which we will be doing, so we've taken some funds through contributions and things like that for different projects. So I hope to bring those back to you soon for amendments. But overall, the general fund is on track. In the major street fund, again, we've seen about a negative $110,000. Those are the funds that have been allocated for the local street paving project. We're doing a little bit better than that. That's just, again, due to the timing of expenditures and revenues within the major street fund. We have received our snow funds for the fiscal year, so that was a big chunk, and they actually came in above what we budgeted, so that was nice. In the local street fund, again, this negative $67,000 was the same as last year. Those are the local street funds that were allocated toward that street paving project, so you'll continue to see that. Again, the expenditures are 80% through March, which isn't too far off, but that project was completed in the beginning of the fiscal year. Some of the smaller funds, which is the library, and I can just be redundant again, fines that are received at the end, after the end of the fiscal year, so typically running in a negative. With the facade grant project, and put them more into a negative period fund balance. And hopefully we'll be seeing some grant revenue coming from that once that project is finalized. The state will not release those funds until the project is complete. There's still some punch list items to go through with that project. We spent about $56,000 this year. The 2015 street fund, debt service fund. This is the fund that takes in the millage revenue to pay off the 10-year bond for that 2015 street paving project. We report the revenue on a monthly basis throughout the fiscal year. The expenses for this fiscal year have all been incurred, with the interest payments being January and July, the principal payment in January. The Memorial Building Debt Service Fund, again, this bond is paid off, but we are still taking in minimal revenue through delinquent personal property tax collection. This has to stay open until the last of those revenues are collected, and then any funds left in here will go to pay other general obligation bonds. Revolving loan fund. Civic Center Fund, again, the majority of their activity is done now. The ice is all gone. A few shows that they put on through the rest of the fiscal year, but the majority of the revenue has been taken in. They'll have some few expenditures left over. I know they do have some maintenance projects going on with the system, and we'll see some expenses coming here before the end of the fiscal year. The equipment fund is running a little bit behind, but again, with the mild winter, less equipment being used, less revenue being taken in, but still seeing a period fund balance as a positive through the end of March. Both the water fund, again, is on track. Revenues exceeding expenditures at this point, and the sewer fund, the same, both healthy period fund balances for the end of March. We do have, with those two, just to note, we do have some bond payments coming up, some principal payments that will hit both of those funds here with the phase 3. May 1st is the due date principal for those bonds, and then some interest payments coming that will be allocated at the end of June. So we'll be seeing those expenses hit here in the next couple of months. And then the cemetery fund, again, just be redundant to note this again, that we budgeted for 5 loans, we've done 4 already. Growing season is upon us, and we'll be doing some mowing here, so we'll probably doing the budget amendment to add 1 or 2 more cuttings to this fiscal year. And we have actually restricted or assigned that from last year's fund balance as we went through the audit process with the funds available, knowing that we probably need additional mowings this year, so we'll use fund balance for those additional mowings in the budget. Again, the DADA is the last fund. Just a quick note, they're one of their biggest expenditures in flower baskets, which I think will be coming in here shortly. So period fund balance over 4,000, which is a big amount for the DADA. I think those flower baskets should be coming between $2,000 and $3,000, so that expense will be hitting here soon. If there's any questions on the revenue and expense report, I can address those now.
Other than to ask when we will probably be seeing a budget amendment, budget to.
Sure. Yeah, I'm hoping next month. And we always do one before the end of the fiscal year. We may be able to get away with one and just doing one next month. That's what I'm shooting for. Yeah, there's actually this fiscal year, except for some of the additional donor funded projects like the design projects. We're hitting pretty entirely for this budget, so there'll be minimal budget amendments that may be project related, grant related, donor related type things. But we should see anything major as far as going over budget. The mild winter was a big part of that entry funds. So there'll be minimal budget amendments needed this year.
Any further discussion?
I'll move on to the cash summary. As far as the balances at the end of March, all healthy balances. I don't have anything big to report.
I'll make a motion, we review it and place on file the 2 reports in item E.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Seaver, second by Commissioner Tower to receive and place on file 1 revenue and expenditure report and 2 cash summary report. Any further discussion? All those in favor, aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item F, approval of monthly check register report.
Thank you. The check register for the month of March was included in the packet and listed with the itemized checks. Any questions?
I'll make a motion, we approve the monthly check register report.
Support.
Motion by Commissioner Semo, second by Commissioner Billiard to approve the monthly check register report as presented. Further discussion or concerns? Roll call.
Seymour,
Yes.
Power,
Yes.
Mildred,
Yes.
Parker.
Yes. Thank you, Paul. Item G, citizens wishing to address the commission on items that are on the agenda. 3-minute limit, please, and if you're able, approach the podium and state your name.
Paul Bob Stitch, 1221 East Leonard Street, Ironwood. Letter I, presentation, Jason Elnick, Code Enforcement Officer. And at the last commission meeting, there were 3 sites, actually probably 4, but there's more of because if you count the streets. Luxmore Street, right across the street from Andy Sari's house. You have that motel on the highway. Well, with that, there's couches on there for patio furniture. There's kitchen tables for patio furniture. Like I said, that looks like something you see in the back hills of West Virginia, Kentucky. It's disgusting. Then you have good old Heroin Hill up here, Pine Street, Hope Street. I mean, when are those places going to get cleaned up? And the old Ahona Mill site. How many years has that been closed? What's going on with that? And Commissioner Bilton's comment at the last commission meeting, I almost laughed when I heard this. He swore, there's a few bad apples in town. A few bad apples in town, Commissioner Mildred, you ever ride around this town and look? It's disgusting. Just go on that highway. Just go on the highway. Go up on Heroin Hill. Go Heroin Hill and look. Look. That's all I gotta say.
Item G, you're still on items that are on the agenda. 3-minute limit, please. Are you able to approach the podium and state your name? Takes us to item H, citizens wishing to address the commission on items that are not on the agenda. 3-minute limit, please. If you're able, please approach the podium and state your name.
Items on the agenda. Oliver Bostich here. Last commission meeting, Kristen Anderson, who lives on Margaret Street, made a very, very good point about these people flying down Margaret Street. I live on Leonard, which is only 1 block away. They're running 35, 40 mile an hour. I mean, you could put your stop signs there, would be a good thing. That would help. But what would happen, to go up a few blocks, go to Celia Street, bounce down Celia. Celia probably wouldn't be that bad, because there's that gravel. The one that they would really hit, they would fly up, is Florida Street. Florida Street, they'd be going 40 mile an hour now. You roll these stop signs on Florida steady. These people are rolling them steady. I mean, all those intersections, if you put the stop signs on Margaret, everything on the south side of Margaret to the highway needs 4-way stops. That's the only way, that's the way eliminating it. Other ones, Catanori Road. I mean, it's disgusting what people are doing on Catanori. They're on a 40, 45, and throwing their McDonald's bags out the window. You go on South Range Road, Frenchtown Road, same thing, 40, 45. Van Buster Road, same thing. In front of the high school, I see 2 vehicles, one at 37, one at 42. I don't know if that thing lies or not, that sign in front of the high school. That's disgusting in front of the high school. And one other thing is, the only way to get these people to stop, slow up, is you're gonna have to. We got a very, very good police department, real good people. Real good people. We're very fortunate to have this police department, but they're gonna have to start writing tickets on these roads. You go to Iron River, Wisconsin, that site is 25, you go 27, you go 28, you get a ticket. You will get a ticket. There's no warnings in Iron River, Wisconsin. You go to Iron River, you're going 25 mile an hour. And one other thing you people ought to be proud of is that sign on the bottom of that hill that says welcome to Ironwood. I'll say this again. You ought to be ashamed of yourself on the way you stabbed the local business community in the back by buying that sign from somebody out of De Pere, Wisconsin. We have 2 local business owners. That's a sign that says Ironwood, Michigan on it. That's not a multi-million-dollar project for the water or sewer survey. That's just a plain, $13,000 sign. The way you stabbed the local business community in the back, you people ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Thank you, Paul. I just want to comment on one of what are your thoughts about the stop signs? I think at the end of the meeting last week, we did try to get consensus to get staff together to look at whether we need stop signs or course tickets, or I think speed bumps was brought up at all as well. So Ms. Anderson did bring up a good point on that particular road, and you've given us a few other roads for consideration. So we are kind of looking at that a little bit. Okay, we are still on item H, citizens wishing to address the commission on items not on the agenda, 3-minute limit, please. You're able to approach podium and state your name. Okay, item I.
Okay, attached is, we're going to do is kind of do a brief overview of, synopsis of what we've done for the past few years when it comes to law enforcement. Here's some 5-year statistics we have for you. In the last 5 years, we've had 1,300 property notifications. 5 years ago, the average was 180 to 200 a year. The past 3 years, once we've made it a priority, I know you guys have set that as one of our main goals. We've been up to about 285 property notifications. Big help from this comes from my own public safety. Well, 3 years ago, we started having the officers take pictures when they're on their normal routines. They're patrolling through town. So it helps us keep eyes over the public and be more proactive than we were before. The numbers have increased because of this. Over the past 5 years, we've had 30 blight public hearings, some of which were resolved after that public hearing. A lot of times you give a person a few weeks to take care of an issue during the public hearing, and it takes care of itself, which is great. We've revised the ordinance 3 times in the last 5 years, trying to be proactive and keep up with issues that we have found. Over the winter of 2015 and 2016, we had the city attorney look through our blight process. The blight process was revised by our city attorney to comply with all of the state and Michigan laws and the city of Ironwood code. Our blight process per property now consists of 7 letters to owners and occupants. We have to have 2 public hearings, 3 of the resolutions passed by the city commission, and send out 2 letters to everyone in the neighborhood within 300 feet. So, it's quite a bit more than we had to do previously, but we're now in compliance with state laws and city code.
So just have a question, Jason. So you said 7 letters of notifications to an owner?
Over the property, it's the first, the second, and third like it used to be, but from there till the public hearing time, there's numerous different letters that have to go out.
What kind of time frame does the third part of the process take?
First, the second letter is 15 days, and the second to third, 15 days plus you gotta give them 3 days for delivery of the letter, which is stated in our, to be legal in our documents. Between the second and third, it's 10 days plus 3 days, so that equals another 2 weeks. And then we have to send out a third notice saying that we're going to set a public hearing, and when we set a public hearing, we're going to have until the next meeting to actually have a public hearing. So it's probably a 2-month process overall to get a homeowner in front of you guys to take care of a situation if they're in the problems.
And it takes this many steps because of the state requirements and the city ordinances?
The state laws and city ordinances, and I don't know that we could legally make it any faster than that. I could talk to our attorney about that, but they went through this pretty extensively 2 years ago. We have some photos of cleanups that the city has done throughout the process through our public hearings, and DPW crews do a great job of taking care of the situation. There's various cleanups from the last few years. over the last 10 years, we've had numerous buildings removed from town, and it's a lot of them. We've had 3 NSP grants. We've had a citywide demolition incentive program where we try to help homeowners from taking down property on garages or buildings. We've done condemnations, and property owners have taken them down on their own. Buildings were removed, and once in town where we removed them through our grants for business expansion, new accessory buildings being built, and some neighbors just wanted a larger yard. Here's some photos. This particular photo, the parking lot, the paved parking lot that's expanded from a house that was taken down to one of our grants. This photo, the neighbor had put up a new garage. In this particular photo, the homeowner took down the house, and he built the garage, and he also built a nice garden in the yard. This is before after, this is another demonstration. The property owner next door wanted a larger yard. We put down a house through neighborhood stabilization program. And then the neighbors purchased the property and maintained it. And here's 2 houses that were taken down in our first NSP grant. This is on Air Street over by the industrial park. Since that point, Ironwood has purchased the property and has expanded the log yard. Here's a house that was taken down and turned into a garage north of the highway. So this particular map is a map of the properties that are condemned in town in the last 10 years. There's 136 houses that were taken down in the last 10 years, and that doesn't include 14 from our 2017 NSP grant and some other ones that will possibly be bidding out with our local funds.
It doesn't include how many?
The 14 from our 2017 NSP, and then we're going to look at bidding a few more.
Wonderful presentation. I'd just like to ask, some of these photos, they're wonderful. And with your average person, when you send out a notification, knowing, I think pretty much everyone in Ironwood is really hardworking and conscientious. So out of the majority of these notifications, do the people say, I'm glad you brought this to my attention and we're going to try to fix it? Is that an average response, or is it a little tougher than that?
Well, sometimes we don't get a response, and that's what we don't want to hear. When we send something out, we would like to hear from the homeowner and work with them on making progress towards moving them. I mean, we don't want to be bringing property owners to the commission to clean up. We want them to take the initiative and do it themselves. And if we see progress, we'll work with the homeowner the best we can to resolve the issue. It's when we don't hear from the homeowners and we don't know what their intentions are, and that's a lot of times when we end up here.
Right, and the worst case scenario is, like the person from the north side of Ironwood that brought to our attention at our last meeting, that the person does not live there any longer, there's some question on who the property actually belongs to, and they're not trying to comply at all. Is that
Yeah, that's probably the worst, when they have no intention on taking care of the property anymore.
and that's your hardest between the letters that go back and forth and the time that takes place.
Yeah, it's the ones that we don't get any response from. If we can talk to the individual, or they come in and see us after we get a letter, we can work through things with them. But if we don't get any response, it's more difficult.
Thank you.
Do you have any, did you provide at this point an update on some of the properties that were mentioned last week?
There is the 2 properties on Luxemore. I have spoke with the owner across from Sarge that was mentioned. They plan on getting the dumpster. They realize it's a problem. There's also another property on Luxemore where the gentleman started cleaning up because he had gotten a letter. The highway property, I had a long conversation with her, I believe like a week ago, because she had gotten a letter and tried to explain to her that, all that stuff outside, it's not outdoor furniture. And as far as, I don't know which other properties, but the ones that were brought up today, I know for sure.
Okay. Maybe, do you have an update on the property that's on the corner of Oak and Hazel? Is that something that'll be brought to the hardest hit?
I'm not sure which property.
Chickadee?
Yes, that gentleman has signed his letter of intent through the SP grant. And I believe he's supposed to be in soon to sign over the deeds.
It's just unfortunate that the whole process takes such a long time. And it being spring, there's a lot of people who have concerns about just the way the garbage seems to show up and stuff like that. Again, I think I mentioned it last month, or last meeting, that maybe it's a good time to contact our chronic offenders and say, hey, there's a spring cleanup that we will take away. You bring it to us and we'll take it away for you. Get that mattress out of your yard, that couch off your porch, or what have you. It might be a good time. Is there something that you can advise, like the public, on a best practice to report or get informed, like, because somebody will say, like, hey, such and such property is just looking nasty. You know, how do they come to you, or how do they find out if the city is doing anything about it?
They can call the building here.
Okay.
There is a link to the code enforcement on the messaging machine, so you'll be able to push that number,
Okay.
leave a message.
So if I'm concerned about an X property, let me call you up and say X property is just really looking bad.
Yeah, you can send an email,
Okay.
all that information's out there on our website. Proactively, we try to find them. Sometimes there's things in the backyard, so we don't know that no house has been abandoned, or situations that slip through the cracks. So we advise that anyone can call or email or.
Okay. And the current process is that you work, the public safety rides around, they see something, they bring it to your attention, and you also go out and circulate?
Yeah, I also go and take photos and report, and get a lot of messages on people ask questioning properties, and go on and take a look at them.
I think that's all I have. Any further discussion or questions?
Well, it's just undeniable that great progress has been made tearing houses down. And once they're gone, you don't remember how bad it was. So that's a good thing, I guess. I just like to keep us moving forward and doing our best to clean our town up.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a real big statement, but we just have to enforce our ordinances.
Can you get us a list of ongoing things that you see?
Sure, I can take for instance, every other week, send those to us, and you guys can take a look at it, and if there's something that really well is on there. You get updates for the week, that's what
And I do like that you have public safety going around, because a lot of people just plain old don't want to complain about their neighbors because it's an uncoverable thing at best. So I think that's a nice solution to that, doing that.
And what they have done is nice, they divide up the town into 8 different zones, where they'll assign a zone to a certain officer, and when he gets time, he'll go control area, and if he sees something, he'll get it back to us.
Any further discussion? Okay, thank you, Jason.
Thank you.
New business, item J, discuss and consider submittal of USDA grant for public safety vehicle purchase.
Recently, we just received the USDA grant, so the USDA is part of the federal granting system. There's potential that this grant may go away in the future, so we felt it was necessary to submit an application for a second squad car. The grant is good for 18 months, so within the next year, we will need another squad car. To give you a little history on our fleet, we have reduced our fleet from 8 to 5 cars, so we're not purchasing a car every year. We tend to buy one every 2 to 3 years. So we just purchased a vehicle that will go into service here in June, and we'll be looking again next year hopefully to put a car in service. But we thought it was necessary with the changes with the USDA granting to pursue this grant once we close out this other grant, which will be very shortly, just due to potential cuts in funding. Because we rely heavily on this grant to offset our expenses.
Sure. So I would like to make the motion all you can apply for USDA grant for the public safety vehicle purchase.
Motion by Commissioner Milligan, second by Commissioner Tower to allow the application for a USDA grant for public safety vehicle purchase. Further discussion or concerns? All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item K, discuss and consider declining scrap metal at the DPW shop as surplus property and authorize advertisement for bids.
Good evening. In the spring cleanup mode that everyone is right now, we're asking for your authorization to go out for bids to remove our surplus metal scrap iron and even the scrap iron block makers.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Commissioner Seymour, second by Commissioner Tower to approve advertisement for bids for the metal at the DPW shop. Any further discussion or concerns? All those in favor, aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item L, discuss and consider releasing lien on Michigan State Housing Development Authority homeowner rehab for 324 East Oak Street and authorize Mayor Pro Tem to sign. Same.
All right, thank you. The city currently holds a lien at 324 East Oak Street. This request is to release that lien. This property is part of our light elimination project. So what we're hoping to do is through this process, releasing the lien, and we also got agreement with Mishna to increase the amount of the lien to $1,500 to encourage this property owner to participate in the program to eliminate this property. So that's what we're asking for. If you guys have any questions.
I'll make a motion to release the lien as described in item L.
Support.
Motion by Commissioner Seymour, second by Commissioner Milligan to release the lien on the Michigan State Housing Development Authority homeowner rehab as described in item L. Any further discussion or concerns? I do a roll call.
Tower?
Yes.
Belgrand?
Yes.
Seymour?
Yes.
Corcoran?
Yes. Item M, mayor's appointments. We have one planning commission member to fill unexpired term and one downtown Ironwood Development Authority board member to fill. We do have a couple applicants I've discussed with Mayor Burchell, and she supports the appointments tonight. And at further review, they look like a couple of good candidates. So at this point, I would like to appoint Ryan Wood to fill.
Mr. Corcoran?
Yeah.
Good, yes, just add one caveat in there.
Sure.
One of the individuals, again, two great, outstanding individuals, they look great. Our DIDA appointment, we want to take a look at the individual as being, that applying is also taking a position with the company that we're working with, that's going to be providing some services to the city. So we're going to make sure there's not a conflict. We don't believe there is. We haven't had a chance to review with the city attorney. So if you're sure that we're coordinated to the next meeting, we want to make sure we've done our diligence to piece it out like that. And that was the DIDA.
That's the DIA position, correct?
That recommendation, you want a motion for that?
Yeah, just, I'm happy to include that one.
Not to include, just, okay. For the planning commission, look to have Ryan Wood fill an unexpired term of Tom Bergman ending December 31st, 2018. At this point, I'd like to appoint Ryan Wood to the planning commission.
I'll make a motion, we support that appointment.
Motion by Commissioner Seymour, second by Commissioner Tower to approve the appointment of Ryan Wood to the planning commission. Any further discussions or concerns?
Other than to say two really relatively young people, and that really makes me happy. Seeing young people get involved, it's a very cool thing.
Great.
All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. So no action on the DIDA today.
Correct, we'll bring that back in the meeting.
Item N, manager's report.
Thank you, just a few items to highlight that are coming up. Again, with the nice weather on Saturday, you probably saw all the people out and about. It was great to see that. The first day last week, we had a lot of people in the community helping clean up. It's just great to see all that effort. That really makes a huge difference in our community, we have volunteers from all over. We had everything from the school kids that went out there and helped police up city property to clean an effort on the trail and people park. So again, hats off to them. It was kind of a cool thing this year. The trail being completed in Bessemer. There's a joint effort between Bessemer and Ironwood on trail and trailhead cleanup. So we had groups, there were groups in both communities. Some people from Ironwood went to Bessemer, some Bessemer people were here. Everybody's helping clean up the trail. So it's nice to see that joint effort. And they did a great job. So just hats off to them. I want to give you an update on our phase 4 water and sewer project that's moving forward. Mike, you want to give an update on that? I'm kind of throwing you on the spot here, but
Sure.
But,
Well, thanks, Mr. Erickson. The final permits came in here last Tuesday or Wednesday, and a phone call with the funding agency this morning, rural development. We are authorized, we have to be careful, we may have to do a little thing, but we're authorized to go out that project out to bids. Rural development has maintained that those bids need to be out available to the potential contractors for a period of 30 days or thereabouts. And that does put us in a little bit of a bind, if you will, or area. We kind of get into that 3-week gap where you folks don't have a meeting. That 30 days is up about 25th or 26th, I think it is, of May, which just is a couple of weeks or a couple of days, pardon me, after your last meeting in May. And then, lo and behold, you don't have another meeting until June 12th. And so I think Scott and I were talking about maybe if we might just hold a special meeting to lower those bids on the Tuesday after Memorial Day, or possibly that first Monday in June. Whichever we might be able to find a quorum, for that matter, any day.
so as we get closer, we'll see where we're at with the bidding process, make sure there aren't any snags that come up, and then make sure we have a quorum, of course. But there may be a special meeting coming up, but to give you a heads up on that.
And so we'll maybe take consideration of that next meeting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right. The project, we do have quite a few bidders seemingly interested, calling on a fairly regular basis to stay on top of that. And so we look forward to some good pricing and a good project. Can I answer any questions on that?
Thank you.
Okay, just a few other items that are coming up. If you see more information on this, but our city water department is going to be setting some schedules for doing hydrant flushing, water main flushing, between that in the spring and the fall. So again, they're working on some dates, probably somewhere at the end of May, it sounds like, still working on the final dates when that might occur. So you'll hear more about that coming up. And we also put notices in the newspaper and city website to make people aware of that. City's also received bids for water leak detection. We did this a number of years ago. We haven't done it for a while. So we received competitive bids for that. And we'll be bringing those back to the city commission after our next meeting, finalizing our evaluation of the bidders, what the quality reference is, and we'll bring back a recommendation at the next meeting. And again, it's a very thorough process where hopefully we identify any other potential leaks that might be going on and make our necessary repairs. We also have a bid opening this Thursday, Dennis, for the demolition. So our first package of projects that we're going to residential properties that we're going to demolish under our NSP grant have gone out, and we're going to be opening bids on Thursday, and then bring those back to the city commission at probably the next meeting for consideration of those. You'll see a lot of activity around the Memorial Building this Friday. It is prom weekend, so just be aware of that, be safe out there, and see a lot of activity here Friday night with all the ongoing activities going on. And staff will also be attending a pre-construction meeting this week with the Michigan Department of Transportation. They've awarded a bid for the DR2 overlay project. Again, that'll be coming through town. So they're in a pre-construction meeting this Wednesday, so we'll be talking about that and getting more details on their timing, when that will occur. And again, it's basically a mill and overlay of the DR. Now, prior to that, they'll be doing some work on catch basins and fixing some catch basins along the road, and also doing some handicap ramp improvements. So once we get a more detailed schedule, we'll bring that back to the commission to be aware of that.
Who's the contractor on that?
The contractor is Matthew Construction, is my understanding, was the opener.
And we don't really have any involvement?
We don't, other than just coordination. So no, it's their project, we direct involvement in the city. And that's the end of the report.
I have one question. Just to confirm, May 6th is their drop-off day?
Oh, thank you, yes.
So I think I saw one of my notes, I had 13th written down. So
We had to move it, but May 6th is the date, yes, from 8 to 11.
And we replaced Adam Baker and strongly suggesting they package and bundle. Great.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Other matters.
I have something. Our compost area is a great resource for our residents. And in some ways, it's an untapped resource. We have a ever-growing pile of wood chips there, which have been used a lot by the Margaret Park Group. But the pile is enormous now. There's no way that we can use it all. And I was wondering if there's a way that we can get our residents to start utilizing that as a resource to get wood chips. We could make that available to them. I don't know if that's possible or desirable, but. And then the other thing is, we have an enormous pile of composted leaves there. And again, it could be a great resource for our residents if we could figure out a way to get it to them or get them access to it. I'm just throwing it out there as a possibility. The piles will pick up a lot of room. The compost area is filling up really fast. And I don't know if we could have a day designated where we could even have a loader there and load of compost. I don't know if that's financially feasible, but just some way to make that a resource for our residents.
Okay. And again, the compost is there as a reminder. Compost is available for people to come and take, but that would be maybe something a little easier to upload it.
It might have a real big impact on the size of the pile.
Maybe be more effective that way.
Sure, and I'd like to have one thing tonight, or maybe two. First of all, the Depot Park and Ironwood Trail cleanup, as you said, Scott, wonderful effort. Love how Bessemer people came to help us, and we had Ironwood people go to help Bessemer. The amount of litter that was picked up this year in the Ironwood area was significantly less than last year. And it just shows you the pride that Ironwood people are taking in the Ironwood Trail in the park. Last year, the pile of cigarette butts that was swept up just around the park was larger than 2 bushel baskets. And this year it was barely there. So that's amazing. Another cool thing is you have to thank people for helping out. Our Super One Foods, the manager over there at Super One Foods, delivered all of the food to feed 45 people and at no charge, and helped man the grills, and along with Sam Davey doing the grills. So how cool was that? And the other item is that I've paid particular attention since the last meeting to people and their driving speeds. And between our bus drivers, with the River County Transit being out for every day, and myself, people absolutely need to start slowing down more. They need to stop rolling through signs. I think a lot of it has to do with the streets and how nice they are now. So no one's dodging potholes, and then I talked about this last time, but with the traffic flow, a lot of people have quit using Douglas Boulevard, and they're using Lowell Street. And Lowell Street, out of every street that we have, was not made for people to go 40 miles an hour. And I know people have gotten tickets on that street from Ironwood Public Safety, and it still is though you're on the hill there, people speed up on that hill, the school is there. The curve on Lowell Street, that one sharp curve where you sort of going southwest and then you come straight south into town. So many people have crossed the center line that the center lines no longer exist. And so if you're driving north to south or south to north, and you're on Lowell, you better slow down in that corner and hug the side, because some people come over and they're 2/3 of the way across and they come into your lane as you're going across. So I've been paying particular attention to that. And then any street that children live on, or any street that children walk One of the things is that when you're an adult, you have good peripheral vision, it gets developed after you're 21, 25 years old. But young children, especially 8, 10, 12 years old, their eyes aren't developed, so they have no peripheral vision to the sides. And so if there are children playing on the streets or young families with children, and they're enjoying a nice warm summer afternoon or spring afternoon, they're not going to be able to see cars. So it's more up to the car to be driving the correct speed limit and watch the children than it is for children to be able to see the cars. So definitely need to work on that. And I think besides the streets, the cars nowadays too. They're all smaller, there's lots of SUVs, and I think that people don't realize exactly how fast they're going, because on Wall Street, for example, every day I came to work, and I had to hit my brakes 2 or 3 times to make my vehicle go 25 miles an hour, and as soon as I hit my brakes once or twice to stay at 25 miles an hour, people behind me, I started to have cars right on my bumper, and some of them were put off because they had to slow down for me. And I was going to speed limit. But you know, with my affiliation with the Golden Pony Transit, with my loving to ride bikes and riding bikes to work, riding bikes on the trail, riding bikes around town, I also pay particular attention to our town. And you know, some of us are pessimistic and some are optimistic. But I have never seen our town look better. And there are those houses where there's that garbage in that hotel out there on the highway. That has to be taken care of. But the majority of the people in this town take great pride in the way their homes look. Our new garbage collection system with new garbage cans and the paper in one and the garbage in the other, I think that really has been wonderful for this town, because in years past, maybe it was more snow, harder winter, but there always were garbage cans that were plowed over by the plows when the garbage was scattered, and when the snow melted, you saw the garbage. I haven't seen that this year. So I'm quite pleased with the way this town looks, and I'm quite pleased with the pride that people take in home ownership here. And for those places that haven't done that minority, you know, we have a way to deal with that. So just to bring that. But these cleanups, when you go out there and you rake for 5 or 6 hours and you see the difference from a couple of years ago, or the Montreal River cleanup and the Miners Park cleanup, you know, there were times where you couldn't have had enough people out there, enough trucks to haul away all the garbage, and that's not no longer the case. People are not illegally dumping like they were. People are cleaning up so I guess that's all I have.
Any other matters? Very good. Item B, consider closed session to discuss contract negotiations with tax negotiation 1538. Motion by Commissioner Siegel, second by Commissioner Williams, to go into closed session. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Middleton?
Yes.
Semo?
Yes.
Power?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
No, you won't see that. They'll never see you.